Hello, this is Joe83, and this is round 12 of AOR this season. We're starting the second half with a race at Silverstone, which is one of my favourite tracks on the whole calendar, so hopefully we do well. Obviously, it's a home Grand Prix as well, so yeah, that's going to hopefully go really well. And full dry weekend, which is absolutely perfect because I'm useless in the wet. But here we go, on to the first lap in qualifying on the soft tyres, back in the Alfa Romeo again. We won last time out in Austria. If you missed it, go and check it out. It's an interesting race to say the least. And here we are coming through Copse on the first lap, and that is not a good start at all. My back end is all over the place, and yeah, I don't know how that happened. All through practice, my Copse I found really easy, but then in a session, the back end just stepped out massively, and then for some reason. Yeah, I carried on the lap, and a 25.3 is what I got, but that's going to be absolutely obliterated by 24.7 from Big Z. My PB, I believe, was a 24.5, so obviously a lot of time to get into Copse, and on this lap, you can see coming up to the same point, we're already a 10th up, so hopefully we can continue that through Copse. We just get a clean run just like that, absolutely perfect through there, and we're already gaining like half a second at least on the previous. So yeah, if we can finish this lap well, then it should be fairly good. And through Maggots, Beckett's, and a Chapel here. Not the perfect run through there, could have used a bit more curb through the right hander, but we are purple in sector 2, and it looks like this should be on for provisional pole position with 7 minutes left. Just one more run to come after this, and braking for Stowe, little bit wide there, not really on the apex perfectly, not running wide at all as it does invalidate you this year, and now braking 100 meters for Vale, and third gear over the curb on entry, not the most aggressive on the exit curve there, but still a decent run up to the line, and it's going to be a 24.6, which is currently pole position, which would be very nice if I can stay there, because I haven't had a pole since Australia, which was round 1. So yeah, going on to the final lap in quali, missing the first apex of Abbey a little bit, but through the next corner into the loop, and it's a little bit too much on that curve. That's going to unsettle the back end slightly, and yeah, not the best run through there. And second gear through this corner, we're a 10th down, but coming on the exit of the loop and onto the Hangar straight, the Wellington straight, sorry, and it looks like it's pretty okay. We're only like half a tenth down, so we didn't easily make that up with the rest of the lap, and we're still in pole position, so any improvement is going to be good. So through Brooklands now and Woodcote, it looks like a pretty decent run. Fourth gear, not the most planted power, but it's better than my previous lap. We're pretty much level now coming down towards Copse. The corner we messed up earlier, can we get it right this time? And turning in at the 15 meter board fully flat out, and we're just about going to stay on the track. Rockall in the Renault, we're having a bit of a nightmare on the outside of the track there, but through Maggots and Beckett's here, trying to take it nice and quickly. 7th gear and 6th gear for the next one on the apex, a lot better there, and opening DRS onto the Hangar straight this time, and half a tenth up. So it's not been amazing, but it's definitely a small improvement. It looks like no one else is beating me so far unless something late happens, but through Stowe, a lot more speed taken that time. Still not really on the apex, but going down towards Vale now, and we're still just a little bit up on the grass almost on entry, but taking a lot more curb this time. That's a much better run through the Vale, and exiting onto the start finish straight, and it's a 10th improvement up to a 24.5, which I was very happy with. I think that was pretty much my PB, and that left me on pole position, so very, very happy with that. Obviously, I said it's my best track. It proves to be, along with Australia, because that was another good track for me. And yes, pole position, my teammate Riley in 7th, and Big C and Ruben are 2nd and 3rd. So a lot of defending to do probably, as this track is notorious for slipstream chains, unfortunately. But on the soft tyres for the start of the race, 5 red lights are on for the British Grand Prix. It's quite a long hold, but we're away eventually, and it's like a decent launch compared to the cars around me. And luckily, with no cars around me, turn 1 is pretty easy. We can just go into it as I want, and yeah, completely take that and hold P1 into the first corner and the first braking zone as well. Very straightforward. Nothing doing for anyone behind me, which is lucky, and hopefully we just pull away. But as it's being Silverstone with about like 80 or 90% full throttle, it's not going to happen because the slipstream is just so powerful that it's so difficult to break away. You can see everyone behind me is second past the lap, and now DRS has been enabled, and the gaps are very, very small. So Big Z straight away is all over me, and he's going to open the DRS down the Hangar straight, and he's going to have a chance into Stowe, and he's going to go for it down the inside. Now I'm going to defend the inside, so I'm going to switch to the outside, but still in the Haas is going to go flying around the outside of Stowe. Can't really force him off because he's fully alongside, and he's going to take that place into the lead. So yeah, leading the race lasted for less than 3 laps, but round the outside, maybe a Vale. Can we hold this one here? Not quite. A little bit of contact there, and putting up into overtake mode, which is going to lose the back end even more on the exit. So very lucky to not lose a place to Ruben there as he backs out into Abbey, because there's no point going side by side through there. We need to stay with Big Z and make sure we don't lose DRS, but looks like we should stay comfortably within the second range, and yes we do. And a few hours later, lap 5, and there's a yellow flag up ahead, and Mercedes is off at Abbey. You can see on the minimap but we're still right behind Bigsy. We've got Ruben in this trade as well, and the Giant just behind 2 in the McLaren. So that retirement is actually going to call the safety car on lap 6, which is a fairly boring time for a safety car, really, because obviously everyone is going to pit because the pit lane is so long around here, and the pit window was lap 9, I believe, anyway. So you absolutely have to make a pit stop now, because it's about a 30-second pit lane. So there's no chance you're going to be in the running if you don't pit, because you're just going to lose so much time doing a pit stop in normal circumstances. So yeah, everyone is going to be in the pit lane. And you can see the Giant and Rockwell actually got 5-second penalties, I think, for a collision or speeding the pits or something. But either way, that should take them out of the running, really, if they're going to serve it. But I don't know if they will or not. But into the pit box, 2.6 seconds. Bigsy leaves the pits ahead of me still. I just about make it out with not getting held up. And yeah, still in a net second place. We've got a few cars who haven't pit. I think that's Daigoro leading, and KC in, I think, 3rd at the minute, and the other 2 cars are both disconnected. So yeah, nothing to worry about really with those 2, but the 2 cars ahead are both haven't pit yet, so it's just Bigsy that I need to worry about, really. I mean, to clear the disconnected cars straight away, obviously. Unfortunately, Daigoro went for it really early. Obviously, he's one of the quicker drivers in the league, so he's completely out of position, really, because he didn't qualify very well, started on mediums, and now is couldn't pit under the safety car, so that's going to allow us to overtake him quite easily once he pits. But yeah, lap 10, DRS hasn't been enabled yet, but Bigsy is just ahead of me with his teammate KC, who also hasn't pit yet on those medium tyres that he started the race on, just ahead. So can we try and take advantage of these 2? KC's going to go wide there, and Bigsy's going to have to go up the inside of the loop section here. Not a very good run for Bigsy or Casey there. And can we go to the inside? No, Bigsy's going to block, so can we maybe think down the middle? But I'm just a bit too nervous to try that one with 2 cars that are very difficult to know really where they are. Bigsy's forcing his teammate off there and just about going around, running outside of Brooklyn's. Little bit of lag going on, but it's not too bad. And running outside, we take the high ground of the better line and just about take the position up into what is currently 3rd, but will be... yeah, we'll be 2nd once Daigoro pits, but luckily for us, KC has held up Ruben a little bit, so he's going to have to wait at least until the hangar straight to get through, but he did that fairly easily. And once again, Bigsy hitting that inside curve actually quite a lot, and yeah, Ruben right back on our tail now, so it's a bit of a slipstream chain for the net race lead. Bigsy has a penalty also, which is important, because penalties will be quite useful if I manage to not get one this race. But down to the Wellington straight, running outside, very straightforward move, and Bigsy is going to actually send it back up the inside in the braking zone and using 3rd gear, leaving space on the inside, very, very close wheel to a racing. I know that Bigsy can race very well. He's a very hard racer, but always keeps it fair just about. And on the exit of Brooklyn's got the better line and the overtake mode to use, and Intercops just about have the position fully 1 car length ahead. But Intercops corner, a little bit of understeer, and that is going to be a penalty, which is, yeah, not ideal at all. Unfortunately, Ruben doesn't have a penalty yet, Bigsy does, so it's going to be racing for track position with Bigsy, and Ruben looks like he's pretty much, if he doesn't get a penalty, he's going to win this at a canter, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully we can do our best, but missing every apex through that section is not going to help us, and that's going to put Bigsy right on me again. So he's only 2/10 back at the start of the straight, and he's going to absolutely tear past down the straight and take that position with DRS open, and yeah, up into the net race lead once again. So yeah, pretty interesting race so far. Obviously, Silverstone quite often turns into a slipstream fest, which, yeah, this one definitely has. And into Vale now, trying to line switch back, but no, nothing doing really. And always hitting the back end of him there. I think he might have been slowing down on purpose or something. I don't really know. Maybe he just had a bad run. But either way, still in 3rd place, which will be 2nd, obviously, once Daigoro pits, as I said before. But into Abbey now, and still all over him, really. And now onto the Vale, and he's going a little bit defensive for some reason, into the loop, sorry. And yeah, he's gone wide, actually, and through this next section, trying to have a nice switchback line through the loop. And now onto the Wellington straight. We're very, very close, and almost alongside him as we pull the DRS open, and we're past him straight away. This should be a very straightforward move compared to last time, and yes, it is. Back up into the net race lead, and Ruben's still just watching behind in that Mercedes, so he's one to keep an eye on, especially when he has no penalties. But through the exit of Chapel now, onto the hangar straight, Bigsy looks a little bit too far behind, but if he's got plenty of overtake mode, which he definitely has, because he's pulling so much time on the straight, and he can go down the inside into Stowe. I didn't really bother defending there, and he's going to use the inside line to force me out and take back 2nd place, which is the net race lead. As I've said many times by now, you probably get the point. And into Vale, nothing doing at all. And unfortunately for me, Ruben is the car behind me that's looking a little bit aggressive at the minute. Maybe he's been saving ERS or something, but he's looking pretty quick right now. And obviously, no penalty is going to help him out massively if he manages to stay without a penalty for the rest of the race. But into the loop section once again, Bigsy's Till's taking that narrow line, hitting the red curb on the inside, which you don't really want to be doing. And out through the turn 4, a little bit too close, and I've accidentally hit Bigsy there. Don't know how to get damage from that. But that's going to be a terrible run, and Ruben is now all over me. Not really got much overtake to defend with either, and gaining on Bigsy, but Ruben's getting more on me. He's going to go down the inside. I couldn't really defend there, but he's going to send one down the inside, and unfortunately, not much I can do apart from trying to hang it around the outside. We've got the inside line for the next corner, but Ruben already has the high ground of the better line, and he's going to get a much better exit onto this short, the old pit straight. And Ruben has taken that position into 3rd place. And unfortunately, yeah, that's probably going to be that, to be honest, because track position is really useful around here, especially once you're not leading the train, because obviously Bigsy's still ahead of us. And Ruben is looking really quick, because he a few laps later, lap 19 now, only 6 laps to go after this. And Ruben is going for the net race, the actual race lead, because Ligoro has pit by now, and set the fastest lap while he's at it. Ruben and Bigsy going wheel to wheel, very, very good racing between these two, and Ruben has the inside line, and the forces Bigsy over those curbs and gets a really good exit, uses probably some overtake mode, and takes the race lead. So yeah, Ruben absolutely on one. It's the British Grand Prix, but the Spaniard wants to ruin everyone's day and take the race win, looks like, which is exactly what he's doing at the minute. And unfortunately, yeah, he's just got way too much pace for any of us to fight back with, really. And now through this next section, Bigsy going a little bit wide again. I was always stronger through that section, especially when Bigsy's losing his back end like that. And unfortunately, I couldn't get on the power as I wanted to, because yeah, he was in the way, really. And now coming down the straight, I've got the inside line, but I don't have a clue where he is. I can't see the arrow at all because it's in the way of the MFD. And yeah, Bigsy still has the inside line, so kind of up a switchback move. It looks like we're going to try one. Can we get a good exit here? Pretty good exit. Bigsy's going to block the inside very, very late, but that's probably fair enough. He had the track position, obviously. But yeah, that's allowed Ruben to get a 1.3 second lead over Bigsy now. So out of the DRS range, he's going to absolutely romp clear, it looks like. So it's pretty much a fight for second at this point between myself and Bigsy. We've been fighting so much this season, which is very fun because we're very, well, I like to think we're very good drivers. We actually know how to leave space for each other and stuff. So it's good, enjoyable battles whenever we're racing. But also got Rockwell right behind us as well, who's come out of nowhere really, and now it's right behind us. But the exit there off the onto Wellington Straight has been absolutely unreal, and we're straight past Bigsy. Not even a fight really put up. He's going to still keep his nose up the inside, got to leave a little bit of space, but we should have that move fairly straightforwardly done on the exit here, going around the outside, around the inside, sorry, of the Brooklands corner into Woodcote, and we're straight past him back into the the second place in this race. Both me and Bigsy do have 3 seconds of penalties each, so it's a track position fight. Rockwell actually has 11 seconds, so not much to worry about really. Even if he does overtake us, he shouldn't be pulling 8 seconds on us by the end of the race with only 4 laps to go now. And through the Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel section, and Bigsy is just behind us once again. Can he make something happen into Stowe? It looks like, because I've not got much overtake to defend with, still a bit of rich mix, but Bigsy's straight past me. It's just such a slipstream chain. It's like the velodrome every single time at this track. It's just, yeah, the driver behind has such an advantage with the DRS and slipstream. But yeah, that's 25 now, and only 1 lap to go after this. We've got to really make our moves calculated, because obviously you want to be waiting until the very end to try and make a pass so they can't come back at you. But unfortunately, it's a little bit too far ahead, it looks like. But I've got overtake mode, so we could, I'm choosing not to use it actually. It's only up 25, but can pull to the outside into Brooklands. And can we make something happen here? Bigsy's going to go wide of that, surely. Yes, he does. And nothing really doing. It's going to be so close on the exit here, as I've taken a wider line, which can be a nicer exit. But unfortunately for me, the Haas of Bigsy is just a little bit too far ahead into Copse corner, and nothing really doing on this occasion. But now, final lap of the race, we've got a good chance now. But I'm choosing again not to use my overtake mode, because I want to save it for the hanger straight later in the lap, so he can't come back at me. But unfortunately, yeah, nothing doing on this occasion in Brooklands, but through the exit, got to stay as close as possible. The back marker cars who've disconnected could be a bit of a spanner in the works, because they're going to give DRS, surely, to Bigsy, which could be, yeah, put pace at any chance I've got of overtaking him. But we're so close into Copse. If I can just stay this close through Maggots and Beckett's, then surely we're going to have a chance, and taking Copse completely flat, even in the dirty air. And into Maggots and Beckett's, trying to stay as close as possible to Bigsy. This is the final chance we've got. Unfortunately, not the best run through there, but we're definitely close enough. But unfortunately, as I said, the back markers have given him DRS. Really annoying, because obviously nothing I can do about that. But we're gaining so much. Can we make something happen anyway? And no, we can't. We're a little bit too far back. And unfortunately, the DRS that he had from Jack's disconnected car has pretty much held Bigsy second place. I like to think I would have at least had a chance to be alongside if the disconnected car wasn't there, but unfortunately it was. So yeah, nothing I can do. Ruben wins the race. I come through for third place. Ruben actually set the fastest lap on the final lap on like 20 lap old mediums, despite Daigoro being on fresher softs at the end. So unbelievable race from Ruben. I don't know how he had that so much pace there, but fair play. Absolutely brilliant race from him. A very decent race from me. I would have liked to have done a little bit better. I definitely think I should have beaten Bigsy, but I think Ruben was a little bit too quick for me today. But yeah, we move on. The podium's pretty good, and still my championship lead is looking pretty healthy, I think, at 55 points. So yeah, all to play for really for the remainder of the season. We've got, I think, 10 races left now, so hopefully we can do well. And yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been J83, and I will see you next time.